All right, good morning, everyone. Those of you who are on this morning, all
Good
right,
morning.
welcome
Good
to
morning.
Morning Breakfast Brew. Hey, good morning, Keeshon. What's up?
I'm good seeing you.
I'm good. All right, I see Mala is on. Those of you who are on, and let me see what's happening on. I try this Facebook thing again, Keishon.
You should be able to stream.
Yeah, but I was getting a little. I think but I shared it saying live. I know.
I mean,
Yeah,
your Facebook, right?
yeah. I think what's happening on Facebook is seeing us live now on Facebook.
Okay.
So, hey Mala, just good morning. Just share the link if you're up there. Right. Yeah, I think we are on Facebook there. You see it?
Checking.
Yeah, you go on Ian Cummings.
Yeah, it um
Right. Uh, right. So you could go on Facebook and you could comment from Facebook. But I think that is the YouTube on Facebook or something. I don't know.
uh it don't look so, huh?
What is that? What is it? What is it? What is it?
I'm not seeing it. I went on your both pages. I'm not seeing it live.
Oh, but I see it here. I own it. But I think it's the YouTube on Facebook.
Okay. I
Remember
still
what remember what's the you never go on it like how I joined it for the stream yard
yeah.
and it's coming private now.
Okay.
I
Oh
think you see it?
no. Nah.
Yeah, it's coming private.
Yeah, we will check.
All
We
right,
will
you
have to
see
check this out.
yeah, it's not check his settings. All right, folks. All right, good morning for those of you who are on. All right, just share the link, invite someone, let them know. All right, that the morning breakfast brew is on. Um, Ian and Keeshon. All right, where we are discussing, personal growth in the area of faith and finance. All right, this morning I want to be sharing some stuff on learning. All right,
Mhm.
because I believe that again, I think for me and Keeshon, how I'm traveling, and you're literally dealing with individuals on a international level,
Yeah.
and you are seeing the challenges in different countries, and you basically literally know it from that perspective. And a lot of people are the environment having an impact on a lot of people.
Serious.
Yeah, they're having a lot of impact because they are focusing more on basically the deficiencies, the lack, the economic downfall, and their whole life, the conversation, the mindset is being
Mhm.
structured by lack.
Yeah.
All right. So everything they have to do, every decision they have to make is coming from a place of scarcity. Oh, I don't have
Understand.
enough, man, and we can't do this because you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And what was amazing, and we could just have this conversation this morning. All right. Hey, Marilyn, good to have you on. Wonderful. What's amazing is that the like for instance, those countries that where the wage for working
Mm-hmm.
is low.
Right.
Okay. Um, People are literally settling for that. So your 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 projection, your line for you're going after is based on that. So
Understood.
it really putting a cap on the individual.
On your mind.
Yeah, in their mind. Because for instance, like if you're in a certain country where the wages and thing, let's say for instance, is because maybe the value of the money is low. All right. But to the individual in that country, $300 a day is a lot to them. But when you break it down, $300 a day sometimes is probably about 2 US.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're basing the projection going after that kind of 300, 500 based on the value based on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is challenging. That is something really, really challenging. I'm
So they,
seeing.
they, they practically have a mental cap because of the average amount of money they expect to be normal.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. But it's coming from an evaluation that
Mm.
is realistic in the sense of not really not realistic, but it's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the world is bigger than your country.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
bigger than your community. It's bigger than what you. In other words, it's bigger than what you are experiencing wherever you are.
Yeah.
And if you know, if your mindset, that capacity has expand on a global level to think that hey, there's more than what I'm seeing here. All right.
Right.
And so you're gonna be going after something that is really makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's a challenge. So today I'm starting the one of the workshop today. And so we have a good bit of students in that class today. So we're starting that today. Those of you who are all just share the link as you come on. We are discussing learning to earn. All right. We want to share some principles with you this morning as you come on, text someone, invite someone. I know we're trying to link the both. I think the link is on also, it's on Facebook. So you can connect the YouTube on Facebook there. All right. So that's basically. Let me just share this. All right. So I'm doing mental toughness for success. I'm
Right.
doing that workshop today. And we're doing
Nice.
2 days. Yeah. And the feedback is good. With that, we get some sponsors. So we get some sponsors.
Right.
So we had some people. So I was able to bless a few folks as a result of a sponsor I got from one of my friends.
Of
I
course.
don't know if you want to call his name, so I don't just say it. Yeah, he has this Robin Hood concept. He did a good job. All right, so I was able to bless about 5 folks with
Understand.
packages for the workshop, I think.
Sounds
But I'm doing mental. So I'm saying that because I see the need for the shifting of the mind. All right, because unless you think different, you're not going to see different.
correct.
Okay, so the thinking have to change. I know some of you may think that we like a broken record with this thinking thing, but I mean, it's the key. It's the key. Marilyn, Erica, how are you? All right, good to have those of you on this morning, whether you're on Facebook or you're on YouTube. Just share the link as we work out our thing. So tell me what's going on. What's happening on your side, Keeshon? I know you all
Everything.
moving. The, um, that business there is moving.
Yeah,
Tell me what's
everything
going
is good. I mean, people are jumping in like every single day, in
on.
large amounts, especially with the promotion that we have right now. So a
Right,
lot of
yeah,
people are getting access to the platform at a really affordable rate. So yeah,
yeah.
things are taking place. And you know, we
Wonderful.
driving the engines as well. So
Yeah, yeah. I see also awesome. I send an email for you, you can jump on it. Awesome. I send an email for you. You can
yeah,
jump
yeah.
yeah on the link. All right, yeah. So
Hmm.
that's basically so what I want to do this morning, I think I want to be able to share what we call on the same concept of learning.
Of
All right,
course.
as I said before, right? So I want to share a little bit what we call 7 advantages of learning something
Mhm.
new. All
Okay.
right, 7 advantages of learning something new, and I think in individual invest in yourself. And sometimes when we talk this focusing like you share this because you want to make money, you want to market your stuff. All right, well yes, that's part of it. But at the end of this, you have to also see the need to educate yourself. All right,
Correct.
and to also learn. So we're going to share just some principles with you this morning. Get a pen, jot down some points so you can learn some things. All right. So the first one, talking about 7 advantages of learning something
Hmm.
new. Learn something new. Okay. It will help you to grow constantly as a person. Right. When you learn something new, it helps you to grow constantly as a person
Yeah.
because you're always learning. You're always learning. All right. So you read a book, you take a course, you look at some documentary, something educational, something to stretch your mind. and especially in the field that you're pursuing success in, you want to be able to educate yourself in that particular area. So you want to be able to develop the key thing is developing your knowledge base,
Yeah.
all right, and improve yourself for the better. That's one of the key things, improving yourself in the better. Now, one of the I was doing a teaching on but some of these spiritual teachers I'm doing now have so much it's coined both ways. So I was saying that, like, in the marketplace, right? Value is important. In the marketplace, value is important.
Yeah.
So people will promote you, people will pursue you based on your value. You have to see your value. Okay,
Yeah.
so for instance, so with that now, you take your you mark it on here. So somebody that is gifted, so you have a gift. Now all this is part of learning it. So for instance, now you have a gift, but most people sometimes that they just say, I'm gifted, I have a gift, but you have to move your gift to skills. All right, whatever you are gifted in, whatever you're gifted, find out what area you are gifted in. Right, identify that. Then you try to become, you become skillful in your gift.
Yeah.
That's a spiritual. All right, and then you move from skills to mastery. And I want to ask this: mastery and perfection. Which one is the highest?
As a matter of question, but I don't think perfection exists. To be
Uh,
honest, from where I
uh,
stand now,
right.
mastery, I believe you could always continuously master something. So I mean, I would go with master. I've never been asked that question, but I don't think perfection exists.
The perfection is this.
Yeah.
I believe it's attainable,
Yeah.
because one of the scriptures Jesus said, "Be perfect, for your Father in heaven is perfect." So I think is something to pursue, to go after perfection.
Okay.
All right, and I know from humanistically speaking, the human mind never think that it can be perfect, and I
Yeah.
think is a aspect of having you not settling
Yeah.
or
Correct.
to
Never
say
been
what I
comfortable.
yeah. Is
Never
it
been comfortable.
right? Never been comfortable to say, well, I've arrived, or
Yeah.
all right. So mastery in one sense, so you have a gift, you're skillful, mastery, perfection. All right. So the
Okay.
perfection aspect is that to keep you going, to keep you moving, so you're not going to be settled.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because sometimes an individual will settle with just having a gift, right? And I was drawing an example in the sense of individuals who go to church, all right? Because the church um, atmosphere and the marketplace atmosphere is different.
Correct.
In the marketplace, is value. So
Value.
you're going to be promoted and educate and shift based on your value. People see the value in you.
Yeah.
You have to see the value in yourself. So even though you are gifted, you're not just going to settle with your gift. That will help you in church. Oh yeah, all right. You have a gift. Okay, so you'll find out that sometimes when a gifted people, who in church and they go in the marketplace, you find out that there are other people who are excelling
Yeah.
and they are not, because they're not moving their gift to skills, to mastery, going to perfection.
Correct.
And I think that is critical. All right. So learning, the advantage of learning something new all the time, learning something new all the time. So the first point, let me run it to you again. It will help you to grow constantly as a person. You have to be growing. You have to grow constantly as a person. Don't settle. Read a book, take a course, have educational conversation, connect with people on that level that will stretch your mind,
Yeah.
right? And notice any thinking person, and when we say thinking and learning, it's not to say that to go and have a master degree and have a degree, because there are people who have more degree than a thermometer and
Yeah.
still broke and still not
Correct.
excelling in terms of their gifts and stuff like that. All right. And the next aspect is develop your knowledge base. All right. And improve yourself for the better. Improve yourself. So whether you speaking, communication,
Yeah.
uh, all those things. All those things are things that you could read about, study, improve yourself in those areas. And always, I think it's good to also um, judge yourself and evaluate yourself. All right, because there's sometimes some people sometimes they don't like to listen to themselves. Right? It's like but I heard Jakes that said that, and just is very articulate. He's a good. I mean, he's one of the
Yeah.
tops out there, and he said that he listened to himself.
Yeah.
All right, he listened to over his messages. He listened to his presentation. All right, and when you anytime you do any courses in those areas, they tell you listen. All right, listen and so you can see what it is doing. Okay. The next principle I'm going to share with them is learn something new gets us success to new and different opportunities. So when you learn something new, all right, it gives you access. Okay, it gives you access to new and different opportunities. All right, and the chance to try new experiences that might be the best ones you have ever tried.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're learning something new, it gets you access. All right. You ever find yourself, Keeshon, when you learn something, you study something, but then after you are placed in a situation and the thing that you learn, it come in handy.
Yeah, for sure. All the time.
Now, at the moment, you may find, well, why am I learning this? Why am I reading this? All
Yeah.
right. But when you place a situation, you realize that the skill set, that stuff that you learned, that thing that you were reading about, all
Yeah.
right, bam, it come in handy. And it's also not having your mind to be lazy,
Correct.
not rest, but you're always stretching that mind. All right. What do you think on your side? Give me some feedback on your side.
Yeah, I mean, well, for certain, in my personal experience, the Bible,
Yeah.
young growing up, just reading the Bible, not really understanding at the point in time what you're reading. And of
Mhm.
course, the teacher's telling you, well, read it anyway. And as you start to get life experiences, able to
Yeah.
teach principles out of the stories and make sense out of it. It also helped me in my decision making process. At the point in time reading the Bible, there's only so much I understood, but only after having experiences fleshing it out to make sense,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
actually started to align, and I was like, okay, cool. That's what this mean and this mean and that type of thing. So yeah, I agree 1000%.
So, folks, you heard it. We just shared this morning some advantages on learning something new. All right,
Mhm.
because we are still with learning. Because I believe that again, because remember, you have to move your gift to skills. You have to improve yourself in the marketplace's value. You're
Correct.
raising value. You're raising your value.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to be promoted, all right, because you sound good or because you have a gift, because you have a degree in
Yeah.
something. What's your value? When you walk into the room, what walk into the room?
Correct. I
What
mean,
was what was go ahead. Go ahead,
just
Keisha.
just to add to that, I was taught that value is a measure of usefulness.
Hmm.
So really and truly, the question
Uh,
is, how useful are you in your sphere, in your field? And
uh,
usefulness automatically mean what are you doing to impact other lives. So it's a measure of your usefulness.
right.
Yeah.
I think that is a question that I think a lot of us need to ask. I mean, what are you doing to help others?
Yeah.
When you walk, like I said, when you walk into the room, and what changed when you walk into the room? What value come into the room? The
Yeah.
value went up when you walk into the room. What you bring to the table?
Correct.
And I think that is a question that you have individual will have to ask. Your value you got to raise your value.
Yeah.
All right. So as we share these principles, folks, the basically the advantage of learning. All right. What books are you reading? What course are you taking? You you're in a particular field, but are you educating yourself, or are you just comfortable going by with some people sometimes only seek to learn when they're faced with a challenge,
Yeah.
when something is before them and they can't move. All right, let me get the information. Let me get some. But no. It's a continual process. All right. Let's go to our next one. We said you could potentially earn more money in your work life from learning a new and appropriate skill or by developing one that links to the work you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. So that is something good because remember you're learning another skill set, right? Don't be and the thing for me, Keeshon, the thing with learning and thing is that don't be settled, don't be comfortable.
You gotta be hungry.
Stretch that mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stretch that mind. Think. I mean, just get into it. Keep reading. Keep doing something. All right.
Yeah.
Educate yourself in the area that you are pursuing in the area of success. Do that. All right. So we're just sharing some principles with you on the need to learn and some of the things that's gonna develop as you go forward. All right. So develop a new skill will influence the way you do things. All right. So when you learn more, all right, your potential, you got potential to earn more money in the
Good.
workplace or even in your business because remember your value going up, your value is going up,
Yeah.
your value is literally going up. You're raising your value, and the difference between you and the next person is value, is
Correct.
what you bring to the table.
Yeah.
All right, the person may not have as much degree as the next person have, but when that person walk into the room, the value went up in the room. They
Mm-hmm.
brought something to the room. They brought something, and those are the questions that you need to have yourself. I think sometimes, anytime someone asks me like, hey, they like I say, prefer to get an increase in salary. You prefer to get an increase or a promotion. You want to pray to get a promotion, which is nothing bad in that.
Yeah.
But but there are ways to structure yourself to approach for those things
Yeah.
in terms of why should your supervisor, whoever you're working for, promote you? Are you adding more value?
Yeah.
All right. And I was doing a study on that and in terms of how to how to how to ask for a raise, for a promotion. All right, how to structure your presentation for a promotion.
Yeah.
All right. And they was talking about you're not just asking, well, I've been in the company for 5 years and I'm traveling from far and the prices of things going up and I think I need they're not gonna increase your salary for that. You
Yeah.
have to jot down and prove to them what value you are bringing to the company.
Exactly.
All right, and how you can take them to another level.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
to show them your worth, your value. And that is how people they will increase your salary. They're not going to increase your salary because price is going up in the country every time, or because taxi fare is,
Yeah. Yeah.
or because I'm working for 10 years now and it's um, I think I deserve an increase. No, I mean that is not how you ask for an increase. You have to show your supervisor them, all right, what value you are bringing
Yeah.
and that you are valuable and they need you.
It's
All right.
practically a business negotiation.
Yes, yes, yes. And the key with negotiation is that, and I think you ever said this already, everything is negotiable and you get what you negotiate.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I do that course, and that is the only thing stick with me. You get what you negotiate, and everything is negotiable. I'll never forget. I never
Yeah.
forget those two principles.
Yeah.
But it's true. All right. So you're not going to settle. Even when you're going to buy stuff, even when you're going and you do your transacting business, don't just settle
Mhm.
for the first price you have or the first offer that come to you.
Yeah.
Everything is negotiable. And if you
Correct.
don't negotiate, I mean, you get what you negotiate. So
Yeah.
that negotiating aspect is critical. All right. So, folks, as we chit chat this morning on learning, all right, and learning new things, the advantage of learning something new. We're just talking and sharing some points with you. I hope that you are able to. I am backwards stage. All right. I also say I'm backstage. Champion.
Blessings.
Blessings.
Oh, morning, morning.
How we doing? How we doing? How we doing?
Good. Your
You're going
first.
good. You're going good. You're going good. I see you blowing up the media, boy. when you all have a session tonight?
Yeah, man. We pumping
Yeah.
hard.
And
Right now it's non-stop. It's non-stop. I'm really excited about the things we have going on. You know, the synergy, myself, Keeshon, and the team, it's a movement I've never seen before. It's a movement definitely I've never been a part of. I mean, we thought we were part of something big before. And in the space, it was big, but it's nothing in comparison to what's actually taking place right now. And as Keeshon would have rightfully said, it's not that we didn't do everything possible before. It's just our capacity to do has increased. So we have a lot more tools at our disposal internally and externally. So we are able to do a lot more, capture a lot more audience, and get our messages out there in a really bigger and significant way. And of course, Keeshon is leading the charge, you know, the face of the movement. So we all have work, and I'm excited by the work itself. Most people hoping for the result. I am excited by the work. I feel alive right now. I felt like a part of me was missing in the absence of being able to work in this manner. And I'm sure Keeshon feels the same way, because this is how we met, as he would have discussed on the last call. This is how we met in the field doing the work.
This is what we do.
So right now I feel like I am living in my purpose more.
This is what we do, and this is who we are.
That I'm able to do the work that I was called to do. So I'm excited by the work, and the results itself will come naturally.
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's really, really good.
Yeah, for sure.
So the man himself. This morning we were chatting a little bit also on the advantage of learning something new. All right. And I was telling Keeshon about, you know, after traveling and thing and hearing individuals just sharing from their present place and the environment and make a decision based on that, and not grasping the reality that the world is bigger than your country or your back or your community or your block. And unless people begin to really expand that thinking capacity to begin to see that the world is your backyard, right, and access the opportunities that is presented. Because when folks talk about they don't have anything and there's no job, folks just talking about from a place of the government and the community and thing.
Correct.
It's and it's, you know why it's sad? Because it's limited. It's limited. All right. So their whole life is governed based on what a government is offering, based on what is in your country. And it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. All right. So we was just chatting on that base, and I was sharing some principles for advantage of learning something new. All right, because you have to continually, you know, educating yourself. All right, in those particular areas.
Always.
What's your take on that?
I think continuous learning is the only way to truly be living. Anything that's not moving forward is moving backward, especially if you live on a planet that's constantly moving. Standing still means you're moving backward or trying to. So you always have to be constantly learning. And as Keeshon said, perfection is not really possible when you have that mindset. But you also don't try to be perfect. You just try to be as best as you can be.
Right.
You know, trying to be that best version. It actually, there comes a point where in your pursuit of knowledge, and definitely, I know I'm speaking to the choir in both of you all, as learners, as people who always learning and growing. But you realize that when you seek knowledge, you realize you will never learn anything. You'll never learn everything, rather.
Yeah,
But
okay. Right.
it becomes so peaceful in you knowing that there's so much that you could never know, but trying to know more than you did yesterday is enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
And people get so comfortable in whatever they do or whatever they have learned thus far. Old ways of thinking is not going to lead you forward. In fact, the only thing that's constant is change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that also means the only thing that guarantees failure is not willingness to learn.
Mm.
Because the change is going to happen whether you accept it or whether you prepare for it or not. The wheel is going to continue turning whether you decide to turn with it or not. So the things that we are doing, and it's foreign to some people because they choose to put their heads in the sand and hope that the world will go by in a way that they will not have to be a part of it. But you have to take stock of your life, accept that times are changing.
Yeah.
And the world you grew up in possibly is not the world that your children will have to grow up in or are growing up in. So you always have to learn in order to provide the best. The old ways of thinking is not going to help you now.
Yeah.
But I want to say this. Now, what is we dealing with too, and I want you all to just hear me from this angle.
Yeah.
We are dealing with people who have been programmed by a system.
Correct.
All right. So when you talk to somebody about development and growth and opportunity and business opportunity and to better themselves, you understand? You are speaking to individuals that are already programmed by a system. And is how you break that system, how you deal with that system. And when someone is governed by a system, and I was listening, Grant was talking about that. He said, when you created movement forward in the area of success, he said that you create systems.
Correct.
Because when you build systems, system lasts.
Yeah.
So even though you are not around, even though you're sleeping, the system is working.
Correct.
It's an automated system. All right. But what I'm saying also, there are people who are literally controlled by a system, their mindset, they're already programmed.
Yeah.
So they're hearing you. They're hearing you, but they're not seeing you. They see you, but they're not seeing you. It's like a matrix.
It is.
It's like how you deal with that, how you deal with people for that. All right. So we hear Keeshon and then I'll hear also.
I mean, for me, even from a biblical standpoint, I honestly believe we were called to be examples. Firstly,
right.
I was told that you preach the gospel, and if necessary, you use words. So,
wow, big one. Yeah. That's big.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, preach the gospel, and if necessary, use words. And that time we spoke.
Let me take that. They're taking that one. Put that pin on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think our lives should be an example. A matter of fact, everybody's life is an example. Some people are fortunate to be examples of what to follow, and unfortunately, some people are examples of what not to follow. But we are all examples for our family, examples for our friends, examples for our community. And I think if we represent being a great example, ultimately being a great or good example will carry us to the height where we're example for the nation, we're example for the region, we're example for the world.
Yeah.
I think it's just about starting there firstly, because every boy or girl that conceives a dream from the examples that they see. As we said in the last session that we had, somebody who wants to be a doctor, wants to be a lawyer, wants to be an engineer, they want to be that because they were inspired by some example. I can tell you that I am here because I was inspired by many examples, and this is, you see them in the form of role models, in the form of mentors, in the form of influencers. I mean, even in the form of artists. There's so many people who role model is the R&B singer, the rapper. You know. So I believe that one of the ways to really impact and effect change is by simply deciding to be the right example. In other words, preach the gospel, and if necessary, use words. That's where I stand to start, you know.
That's big. That's big there, man. That's good.
Yeah.
Also, what's your take on dealing with people who are already in that system, but they're hearing you, but they're not hearing you, they see you, but they're not seeing you in the matrix?
Yeah, well, as we would have learned, the unlearning process is harder for most than actually learning.
Yeah.
Because when you develop, especially after many years, you know, you speak all the time about the first 7 and then it have the second 7, but you know, they develop personal philosophies based on the world around them, as you said, and they think that the world around them is the only world that exists. So, and they are actually blinded by their eyesight, in fact, because they're unable to see things beyond their own perspective. And Keeshon speaks on this all the time, just having our next pair of eyes looking at a situation, or stepping back out of your own view, out of your own perspective, to look at it through a different lens will often, in fact, always change the way your perspective.
Wow.
So, and that would have happened to me definitely with Keeshon in terms of, and you know, we always discussing the importance as it relates to money.
Yeah.
But changing your perspective on money, we were taught not just the wrong things about it, but how to think about it. Because you were told that you don't deserve it. You think that it's not for you. Why do you believe that? Why do you believe that money is not good, one, when it's essential to everything that you have to do? So why would God make it essential to everything you have to do and it not be a good thing? Money itself is neither good nor bad. It's what it's used for. But people have this paradigm that money itself is bad.
Yeah.
So we have the wrong paradigms about it, and therefore, and about many other things for that matter. So it shapes the way we approach it or run from it in some cases. Because some people, they actually have what we know now as a money rejection complex. They refuse money with words and with actions.
Money rejection complex is there. So.
Yes, it's a real thing. They believe they are not deserving of it. There are people, there are business people who try to go into business anyway, and they refuse money because they're not willing to do the right things. There are people who, when somebody offers them more money because of good service, they will refuse. There are some people who will sell their goods or their services short just because they don't feel they are worthy of having more.
Wow.
So they need to really go into themselves, change their paradigm, change their philosophies, and then it will offer you a different perspective on money and, of course, on life in general. You know, change your money blueprint as we know it to be.
Yeah.
Because unless you change your blueprint, unless you change your paradigm, it literally doesn't matter what you learn or what you do. Money will, if money does come, it will go because you believe you're not worthy, so you will do everything in your power to lose it, and you will understand why.
Correct.
Yeah. And in fact, sometimes it don't even come to you when you have that kind of mindset. It don't even come to you. Like it stay away from you.
Yeah.
Correct. For example, somebody their thinking of money is that it's only for paying bills and buying some stuff. So regardless of how much money comes into their hand, they're going to pay bills and buy stuff.
Correct.
So they will always just be in a cycle of never having enough or never having anything left over.
Yeah. So there's definitely a reprogramming of people's mindset that needs to take place. Because people who are really trapped in that matrix, that system. I think, let me just, before I share that thought on that, I say, Colleen, put up, be the right example. This is very important, extremely overlooked. All right.
Yeah.
Being the right example. Now, all these points are really good at, but one of the things, remember, I'm saying is that seeing, they see not, hearing, they hear not. So they will see the right example. No, I'm not, and here is Keeshon and also, that's the power. Why should the power of a system?
Yeah.
The power when you are trapped in a system. It's not an easy thing to come out of that system. That system has a break.
Yeah.
Right, and to break that system, you have to be aggressive. You have to be consistent, radical. Sometimes it takes some individual losing everything to break that system.
Yeah.
Understand? Sometimes it takes people betraying you, and you understand that it's to shock you. It's like you need a shock out of that system.
Correct.
That's how sometimes it is, because there are some people, but they will not. That's one. And for me, the next thing for me, I think there is a generation, there's a younger generation that who thinking is not trapped in that system. And that is a target group. That is a target group that is critical.
Yeah.
That's a target group. All right. Hey, Dwayne, morning. That's a target group that is critical. There is a generation that's coming up. Like, remember we talk about the box mindset.
Yeah.
All right. So the older there's a generation who has a box mindset. All right. Fear of failure, insecurity, that whole box mindset. But then there's a generation that's coming up. They will ask you, what box you talking about?
Yeah.
That's what box you talking about, because they're ready to run with it. They're ready to, I mean, you tell them jump, they ask you how high. You ask them to go, they ask you how far. You understand? And that's the mindset. I see. I think Keeshon have some youths around him there. I mean, them youths hungry. Them youths. I mean, it's like a trail meet a lion, and that's hungry lion. And that's the kind. Those are the that's the generation that we're going to see having the kind of success and impact financially. So you're going to begin to see birthing of millionaires and wealthy people, 19 years, 20 years, 21 years, 23 years coming up.
Yeah.
That's what's happening now.
True.
All right. Because and why I'm speaking from that place, I speak from that place as a result of what I do, how I travel, where I am, the people I interact with. And I had to come to that understanding soon, fast. I had to come to that understanding fast, that there is a generation that just wouldn't, they will hear it, but not hear it.
Yeah.
They will see, but not see it. And even when they hear it, they will say, hey, this is good, boy. Yes. They will support you. They will encourage you. But it's like watching. It's like watching out of a watching. It's like watching through a glass. You understand? And they see everything, they hear everything, but guess what? They're not going to come through that glass. I think Berlin says so true. Berlin says so true. Wonderful. All right. So that's the concept. That's the concept. So the even what we do, all right, in terms of learning and teaching and empowering, all right. I mean, this is something really, really good. But then the percentage is going to really run with it.
Yeah.
All right. And this is why sometimes when you're on this kind of journey, you really can be discouraged with numbers. That's what I'm saying. You cannot be discouraged with numbers, because you will have 5 person. All right, you will have 4, and the fact of the matter is, to bring that kind of revolution in this area, it don't take much people. 1 person could shift.
One
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one right person, and that's what you're looking. You're looking for the right person. You're looking for that right person that will impact the masses and will bring that message and transform that next generation. So it's just links now. It's just links. All right, and I think that is why these things are so important. It's really, really important. All right. Let me just share one of these points here again on advantage of learning something new. All right. So we talk about when you learn something new, it puts you in that space and that place for promotion, for increase in salary because knowledge. Because remember, you're raising your value.
Yeah.
All right, your value. And that's the difference between you and the other person. So somebody may go and have degrees and all that stuff, which is good. I mean, not saying don't do that. But somebody, the next person may not have all that degree, but they have value. They bring value to the table.
Correct.
That is what learning does. All right. So learning new things is very important. It says for self-esteem, also for your self-esteem. All right. Learning something new keeps the brain cells active and allows us to succeed at something new. So it keeps the brain cells active. All right. So your brain won't get lethargic, lazy there. So you keep that brain active all the time. So allowing you to give ourselves, all right, that pat on the back. So it keeps your brain, it keeps your brain. So even when you hear something, all right, like a mind that is active, that hears something, is easier, that mind is easier to grasp that thing, and it will stay because that mind is not lazy.
Yeah.
So you're speaking to somebody that is a learner, that is a thinker, that is a reader. you check it out when you're having conversation with somebody like that versus a conversation with somebody who don't read, don't think, don't do anything. Come on.
Know the difference.
Big difference.
Big difference because they can't hold a conversation. If they can't hold a glass of water, so must as for conversation. So it put you in a whole different place. All right. And then the other thing with this aspect of learning, also trying anything different ensures you meet new people.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So you could sit at that level, you could sit in that room and have conversation as a result of the thing that you learn. All right, because you read a book, because you took a course, because you associate with somebody at a different level. So it puts you at a different advantage. So you could sit at that table and have that kind of conversation. So when those opportunities present itself, all right, you're not going to be, like a fish out of water. You can add something to the conversation. All right. So learning, it's really, really have you put you in a new advantage. I think for me, like based on what I do, but I study one of my mentor is Dr. O Abunaya, and he's a Jew, and he writes some real books. I mean, I was telling someone, when you read this, you stay on that chapter for a month or two. Yes, it's loaded so much. Yeah. You listen to one of his sessions there, you have to put out a repeat for about 2-3 weeks. You understand? Because it's stretching your mind, it's stretching your thinking, and that is what you want. Because if you don't put yourself in that environment, because you'll find yourself being comfortable. All right, and we all know that your comfort zone is your broke zone.
Yeah.
You understand? You want to be comfortable. You want to. So it caused me to understand so much stuff, so much things in the area of why we need to live. All right. And anything to add to that?
I mean, a lot of things after that.
That was loaded.
Yeah.
So some of the points I say, all right, for instance, so let me, if I'm going to leave some nuggets for those of you who are on, all right, I see those of you who are on, just share your comments, leave your comments when you come on. All right, we're talking about learning to earn. Okay, so coming out of this session this morning, the first one is be willing always to learn something new. So you have to be willing to learn something new, all right? Because you're raising your value. Because remember, in the marketplace is value.
Value.
That's the difference, is value. Your value have to go up, and you have to raise your value. The difference between you and the next person there on your job is value. Why the person is promoted and you didn't get is value. Yeah. What are you bringing to the table? So as we said before, you ask yourself this question: when you walk into the room, awesome. What walk into the room?
Exactly.
Yes, and when you walk into the room, yes, and what walked into the room when you walk into the room?
Indeed.
Guess what I'm saying?
The energy must introduce you before you open your mouth.
Come on. Understand? So you learn so much. So be willing to always learn something new. That's what. The next thing, learning should always be a lifestyle. These are just some nuggets. Learning should be a lifestyle. Yeah. Learning should be a lifestyle. Okay? It should be part of you. It should be normal to just jump on a course, read a book, sit down, you understand? Right, Vanessa said personal growth and mental development. Thank you, Ms. Wright. Right, so let's
right. Can't do no wrong. We badly.
So that's the next thing. Acquire new skills. So you're skillful in this area, but what other new skills? Acquire new skills.
Yeah.
Because you will never know what will going to happen where you will need that in the future. All right. Vanessa said, "Don't know." You know what is so amazing with this conversation too, and with learning. We are living in a fast-paced world. This is an information age, right? Information at your fingertip. So what we step into, for me, at 18, you're talking about a baby step into at 2 years, 3 years old. It's a vast, it's wide.
Yeah.
It's wide. Information age, so you have to capitalize. So it's not going to take you long, all right. It's not going to take you long to even get the information, all right. But also, one of the things I want to warn people in terms of area of learning: don't be just someone who just acquiring information. All right, that is something I've seen. I've seen individuals. All right, so you're taking every course, you're reading all the books, you're connecting with all the people, and so you have a degree in information collecting. So you are information collector. All right, and but there's no change, there's no transformation, there's nothing happening. All right. And so you don't want to fall into that category. I could go different angles with this, but I'll just
knowledge is only power when it's applied.
Woo! Knowledge is only power when it's applied. All right, willing to unlearn. Colleen said being willing to unlearn, boy. Whoa.
No.
That's big right there. Sure. Being willing to unlearn. I think that is big right there. And that could be sometimes someone's block, because they don't want to unlearn some of the things that they've learned before. All right, so folks are putting up their feedback here. All right, in an ever forward moving world, standing still is moving backward. Woo! Awesome. Standing still is moving backward. So even if you're moving.
Correct.
Wow.
Either you move intentionally or you will be moved.
Exactly.
Wow.
So,
right.
Yeah, movement is relative to time, you know.
Yeah, it is. All right. The next nuggets I want to drop is change is the only thing that is permanent. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Don't be ashamed to learn something new. Don't be ashamed to learn something new. All right. Also, developing new skills will affect the way you do things daily. Right. You remember? I think on the last session, Keeshon, we was talking about. I was saying, and even awesome too, that if you do something for 40 days, they were sharing something that the experience they had.
Yeah.
Right. And if you take certain principles, like you say you structure your day, you structure your life for 40 days, you say that you will transform. Literally reach it. Like if you do it constantly, like you get 4 o'clock, you do your affirmation, you do your prayer, you do your exercise, you read a chapter in a book. You understand all those things. And if you continue to do that over and over for 40 days, that's it. That is a shift right there, a major shift.
Yeah.
Yeah, major shift. And I think some those of you who are listening, if you're probably listening to this later on, I think that's some of the things that some of us need to do. You start at that place.
Yeah.
Because literally, fact of the matter, Keeshon, I don't know if you ever really check it out, also. That there are some people, plenty people don't read and think.
Indeed.
I'm aware.
No,
A lot. We are. I mean, in the conversation we have daily, it's evident. It's
don't read at all.
It's evident that they don't read.
Yeah.
Or it's evident what they're reading.
Yeah. And it's not that they can't,
Correct.
All right. Just to read. Some people only read in text.
I mean, I saw a quote, I post it all the time. The old slaves were killed for reading, but the new slaves won't read if it kills them.
Wow.
It's like you have to beat some people to learn.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
This discussion was sober, guys. It was really sober. We coming to an end. All right. If you want to be financially free, then you must be a constant student.
Correct.
Right? Be a student and learn. Connect with a mentor. All that stuff is good. Push yourself to learn something new in order to stay relevant. All right. Those of you on, let this be one of your mantra this week. You know, you're going to push yourself to learn something new in order to stay relevant. Whether you decide, okay, I'm going to read a new book, if it's just a chapter, whatever, but do something, do a course, something, man, learn, put yourself in that area, be a student. All right. Those with better skills do better in the marketplace.
Correct.
All right. And stay on top of your game. Stay on top of your game. All right. So, guys, we come to the end.
Many acts.
That is key there. All right. What's your takeaway, Keeshon and awesome?
Be a student.
Text takeaway. Those of you on, text your takeaway because we're about to wrap it up. Go ahead, Keeshon.
Yeah, be a student. You know, we always are a student.
Yeah, be a student.
Doesn't matter how much we learn, we will always, have the need to learn more. So be a student. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Awesome. What's your takeaway?
Yes, definitely. Always keep willing to learn. You never learn enough. You never have enough skills. You could always improve yourself. And that's your purpose is to improve yourself. And just by improving yourself, again, you'll be an example to somebody of what is possible to do. And that's why everything I do is to remove someone else's excuse. But I come from a family of unhealthy people, internally and visibly in some cases. So I want people, when people say that's your brother or that's your family, you must feel shame because of the things I do. The wealth I create coming from less than other people create, you must be ashamed that you decide to still live in poverty because you choose to.
Wonderful.
And everything you do inspires someone else that it's possible. I mean, Keeshon was giving the example, even in entertainment. When you hear someone sing well, it lets you know that it's possible to do. Yeah. And it inspires you to sing well as also. The reason why world records are always being broken in sport is because someone showed you what is possible and you decide if he did it, he or she, it's possible that I can do it too.
Yes, yeah.
So someone always sets the bar for someone else to surpass.
I like that projection.
Yeah,
that you're doing, because even in the family, be a cycle breaker. Be the one that will change, start a new cycle for the
Someone
next
has
one.
to do it.
Someone has to do
It
it.
always begins with one. You
Yeah,
have to say enough is enough, and I say that all the time. Somebody has to do it. It means if it's not you, it might take 10 years, it might take 20 years, but someone has to do it.
Yeah, you got to. All right. I see that's now jump on. That's a late girl. All right. Some of the folks, let's just say, find a triple M. When let's just say find a triple M. Miss Wright say find a triple M. And I have to be a money manager, making money mentor girl.
Yeah, man.
All right. Kenville say keep improving yourself. Wonderful. All right. Marlon say learning is a lifestyle. You know, folks are sharing their takeaway, guys. Acquire knowledge, the key to access. Hey, okay, God now. All right, Fisher say never stop learning. That is really, really good. Improving yourself. Can say improving yourself. All right, so folks, you know, these are boom. All right, set the bar for someone to acquire more. All right. And my takeaway is push yourself to learn something new in order to stay relevant.
Yeah.
Right? Learn to earn. Okay. And that's I think mindset has to change. You know, when sometimes when I go to like tonight I started mental toughness up here. And you know, like someone will ask to say, you know, come and do a financial meeting. I've had a financial meeting this Saturday. And you don't want to talk about money, but when you go in a meeting, you have to talk about mindset. The mindset, I mean, changing that, shifting that paradigm, shifting that mind.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, thank those of you who come on. If you haven't followed us yet, subscribe to the YouTube page, Minding My Business. All right. Morning Breakfast Brew. All right. With myself, Keeshon, and see well awesome now. We have to put awesome on the brew. All right. Really glad to have you on awesome. I mean, you bring so much to the table. Really, really thank God for you and your wealth and what God is doing in your life. And I know you're having an impact in so many lives. Amen.
Really appreciate it. We appreciate this space. We appreciate the community. Is bigger. The community is the real blessing to me, boy. The people I get to be around, the people I get to serve. I mean, connecting with Keeshon, hearing his brilliant mind, hearing his passion for life, you know, feeding off of that. I mean, connecting with yourself, you know, the impact you have locally and globally.
Yeah.
I mean, that's bigger than all the other material gain. I mean, I accept the material because I deserve it. I make no mistakes about that. I deserve abundance in my life. I'm called to live the greatest possible life. So
that's right.
I accept that with grace. But I'm also thankful for the little because I've had little. And there are many days when I still have little.
Right.
But I'm grateful just to be in the hunt still. I'm excited, in fact. I see miracles every day. People look for grand things as miracle. Every day I open my eyes, it's a miracle to me. So I begin every day with thanks and gratitude. And there's a law of gratitude anyway. So I practice it deliberately as well. So
that's wonderful.
I'm always learning something new, always trying to make myself better. I mean, you spoke just now about, you know, the habits that people are not willing to cultivate. One of the most important books I learned, I probably think it could be the most important book, not because it's the best. It's a little book by the name of The Greatest Salesman in the World. They spoke about if you must be a slave to habit, be a slave to good habits. So always be willing to change yourself. Look at yourself diligently and consistently to see how you can improve little things. Create a routine. Some people think that routines are bad but the more structure you have, the more freedom you actually gain. It's almost ironic in that sense. The more structure you can create in your life, a exercise routine, or eating routine, a sleeping routine, rather than just letting the wind blow you any which way it can. So you create your own freedom by actually creating your own structures, creating your own systems.
Nice. You see, you have a big fan there. That says she just in time for awesome golden nuggets. Hey, so let me Keeshon, let me put you on the spot. What book you reading, Keeshon? What book you reading also?
It's 2 books I actually have there to read, which is Dr. Cummings, right? No, literally, that's the book I'm dissecting. I haven't finished as yet because I'm reading it slowly. When time permits as well. But that's the book I'm dissecting right now.
All right, wonderful.
4 levels.
4 levels of human existence.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
No, literally.
Also, what book you reading?
Well, every single day I listen to The Science of Getting Rich.
Right. Okay, good.
I actually listened instead of I kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Instead of listening to music when I exercise, or at least then I exercise twice a day now.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in my first exercise, I listen to that too. But I also include something else for new information. So I'm actually studying or restudying sales so that I can become better at how I bring my messages across.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So again, always trying to sharpen the axe. You could always learn more.
Correct.
Keeshon would have shared in some of the trainings we did. Keeshon would have shared a particular sales master. And so I decided to dive into his content and some other person's content so that I can, be more effective in what I do.
Mm-hmm. I see that there's a book, I think it's Psychology of Sales or something, I think, Keeshon.
Psychology of Sales. I'm not certain. About that.
I think I was let's see if I find it there. I don't know. It's a book on sales. It's a psychology of sales.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm doing Unlocking the Powers of Times and Divinity by Dr. O. So there's a book on governing times and seasons.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm doing some studies in that, and plus I with my guy here, what do I call him, Boss Moves.
Yeah.
Myron.
Yeah.
Myron is a boss.
Yeah, he is.
Right. We have so much. I see Dwayne says 21 Laws of Leadership, good book. All right, folks, let us know what book you're reading. All right, just share it with us. Some of the books that our guys are reading here. All right, just in time. So I'm doing that, but I'm always into something. But how I do my reading too, I do like a chapter. I study it like study.
Yeah.
Right. Something I'd learned from Maxwell. He said that I think he said that in the 15 irrefutable laws of leadership, he spoke about jotting, all right, and then journaling.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he said jotting. So you jot during the week, you jot down, and then the week you journal. All right. So for me, basically, if I really want to get, like if I read a book, it's a book that I want to get something from. Like I really want to understand a concept or a principle. So sometimes I hold on to a book. It will take me a while. All right. So I might be reading 2 or 3 books, but on the same topic. All right. So I read it I read that. So if I study, like I will do 2 topics. Okay, so I do something spiritual, right? Or doing times and seasons. So anything with times and seasons, I will study that. And then if I'm doing like sales and stuff like that, well, I will study that section. But then the next thing too. So if I'm doing studies like that, reading like that, I don't like do too much of different authors. Right, so that for study. But if I read it, I read different authors and things. I read to hear, get information.
Yeah.
But if I study a particular trend, a school of thought, I literally will study a particular author. All right. So those are some amazing. All right. So I think Merlin put it up. All right. So Merlin she's reading this book to Governing Times by Dr. Obunaya. All right. So folks, blessings. All right. We have a good session. Really enjoy the sessions. We are blessings. Look forward to these sessions. And folks, let me say to you all, sometimes when you building something, like not every morning I just feel to get up and come on. Sometimes it's like, and I say, Lord have mercy, oh my God. You know, when I think about Keeshon, I say Keeshon. So that way Keeshon think about me. So we clash.
Vice versa.
Yeah. He's pumping. I come on, I can't say a job. All right. But it's good. And those challenges will always come. But you don't stop.
Correct.
You walk through it because it helps you get better. All right. And sometimes for me, I ask myself, why am I feeling like that?
Yeah.
All right. And I answer the question. Probably I'm tired, probably I'm so probably in the past I may start something and stop.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then that same feeling may come that came in the past that caused me to stop.
Yeah.
So now I know I have to push through to break that cycle and to create a new pattern.
Of course.
All right. So we'll chat. Stay blessed.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. All right.
In your house.
Have a good one.
All right.